It's good, yeah. So, I mean, Kim touched on something there. There's, as an industry, there's a lot of misinformation, and Finns generally have a reputation for being quiet and humble people that potentially are not going to shout about how good an experience is. And certainly, there's a joke that the Finns began exporting sauna to the UK in the 70s, and they still haven't sent the instruction manual. Because of that sad fact, the experience has in some ways been hijacked by what we in the UK might call snake oil salesmen, and that is somebody who yesterday sold you a hair growth cream for anti-baldness and today is nowhere to be seen. And we've seen that with certain fads in the industry. Last year I talked very dismissively about the infrared industry, and I know Kim also has thoughts on this. We've discussed briefly at the Tulo factory that actually Finnish sauna has more of the beneficial infrared radiation than almost all of the infrared saunas on the market. And this is a little known fact. So I had somebody not long ago call me up, a client in London, who said, I said, look, we specialize in authentic Finnish sauna, this is why it's better. And they replied, why would I want to sell a Finnish sauna when there's so much better research about the health benefits of infrared, right? And I tried to stop him and say, if you measure the infrared in a traditional Finnish sauna, you will find that there's potentially 3 times more of exactly what you're looking for. And you get a wealth of other health benefits that, although sadly he's not here, Jari Laukkanen would stand here and testify loudly about. So I think more shouting needs to be done by humble Finnish voices about the health benefits, about the quality and enjoyability of the experience, which we're starting to get. And we need to abandon snake oil sales tactics, which only result in people losing trust in the authentic experience.
Even I didn't know this, and I'm Finnish. So we go there, and then Tapio, yeah.
Yeah, I need to comment what you said here, because sometimes I learned a new expression during 1 year ago. It was alternative facts.
Fake news.
Yeah. No, but I think that I fully agree with you. One thing we need to do in the industry is to work on the education. Because I think that if I take our own company itself, one of the big challenges we have is to re-educate our salespeople, because they are very, very much engineers, and they love to talk about technical characteristics of the heater and talk day and night about that one, but that is not what is kicking off people. We really need to do some more value-based training through the organization together with our dealers and really bring forward what are the real benefits of having a sauna. And as one concrete example, what we are taking now is that as we are speaking, we are building the first official sauna lab in the world, together with a medical professor and his network. And that is going to be built up in Luleå in Sweden, and they are in fact going to in scientific studies, medical scientific studies, confirm what is happening inside a human body when you're having a sauna. And the interesting thing will be that there will be one traditional room and one IR room. And then we will see the facts.
How many stones will be in the traditional heater?
It will be exactly according to the specification to our Tylo heater.
So the question is how many stones there will be in the...
I don't know, honestly speaking. There will be quite many.
Good.
Yeah. No, but so we are going to test that one, and for us it's not the issue for Tylo Hello to do this, because I think that this is for the sauna community worldwide. We have no problem, and we have also agreed that with the universities that this will be public information spread to the whole sauna community in the world. Because this is also one way for us to educate ourselves, but also for the big audience.
Mm-hmm.
Then
okay.
we know.
Tapio, yeah.
Maybe just building on the comments from Kim, Esko, and Jake. And I think we are all in front of a big opportunity. And I think today when you go around the world and you ask, how does a good
Sorry,
sauna
Tapio,
look?
can you put it closer? Yeah, yeah.
We are in front of a major opportunity. And I think when we go around the world and ask people, how does a good sauna look like? People don't know. And it's up to us in a way to do the benchmark and show off what can be done. And it's not only the engineering on the heater, how many kilowatts and how many cubic meters you have in the sauna. It's a multisensorial experience. And I think it's also all the related items, not only what is in the sauna, it's also before and after the sauna. And it's part of our everyday life. And I think we'll once again beef up what Pekka said, not only make people live better, but also make them live longer. And I think that's part of Mr. Laukanen's statement. And I think 3 times a week, minimum 15 minutes ago, sauna bathing, you will experience 3 to 7 years more of this life. And we will truly enjoy the life. So that's why we are doing it. But I think it's our job not to accept that these sauna belts and some of the other things are on the market. They should not be called saunas. And then I think today we heard an excellent presentation from the hotel industry, and I'm very happy to hear that from a Finnish speaker. When you travel around the world, you can go to a 5-star hotel in Singapore, even in Taiwan sometimes, and they claim it's a 5-star hotel. Yeah, you see that on the reception. Breakfast works perfectly. Room service is immaculate. But when you go to the sauna, it's 1 star or 1 minus on the sauna. So people don't know how does a good sauna look like, what are the characteristics and what are the functions of the sauna. And it's our job to educate the world on this one. And then continuing with the excellent presentation from this hotel, it's not only to sell the heater or sell the sauna, it's also the life cycle and the sustainability of the experience. And that's our job to make it work.
I'm not sure if you, Jake, already commented on this. I think I heard it that someone asked you whether Brexit has had any impact on your business, and did you say no? Or
so we're fully booked with installation work until about May next year, and the biggest problem for us is we can't keep up with the demand for our service. So I think. Generally speaking, although I don't necessarily agree that it should be an exclusive experience, that the market outside of Finland for sauna is at a very high-end experience, and people at that kind of level of international wealth are certainly less affected by that. But I don't know. Ask me again next year, and I think we'll see. But
are you worried about the hard Brexit if it really happens?
I mean, I would say that it's probably quite likely that Brexit is going to happen now. The analogy that people use is like it's impossible to go back into the family home once the divorce proceedings have already begun, and I think that's a shame. You know, my partner is German. My business imports everything from Finland, and for half of our country, it has been the same kind of tragedy as losing a family member at the point that we learnt about Brexit, and that has been very painful for a lot of us, and it has very much divided our nation. However, we now are in this situation, and if there's one thing that British people are good at, it's that we can innovate, we can face adversity, and we can certainly make the best of a bad situation. And that's exactly what we will do. But what I will also say is, you know, the UK is in itself its own country. We have here guys from the US that successfully import equipment from Europe without issue. We have companies that produce and import materials from China or throughout the world without any issue at all. So I would say in the short term, it's going to be a little bit of difficulty, but we have a very large warehouse that is very well stocked with timber, with heaters, with equipment, and you know, we've made plans now. This is a 3-year-old problem. It continues to be on the 24-hour news cycle, and I think everybody now is tired of this and kind of wants it all just to be over. So yeah, I think we will be fine. We will innovate and succeed, but I think for a lot of people that were misinformed about a debate, they've been misled. There has been many alternative facts shared, and much like perhaps the infrared debate You know, they've been missold on something, and now they have to sit in a lukewarm room and pretend they're enjoying this expensive experience when they should have got a Finnish sauna and gone down the traditional route.
But you can always go that is Brexit stressful for you? Come to sauna to relax. So, does anyone have any comment on this, on Brexit? Or
I have a question about the research facility, because I'm very much, I think research into sauna and health and well-being is really important. I think that's great. However, the first thing that warning flag that I see is that if you're sponsoring this research, is it not like a tobacco company sponsoring lung cancer research?
Absolutely not. no, but we do it purely for goodwill. And when I met Hans Hägglund, who is the professor originally from Uppsala University, because he contacted me, and I said that what I absolutely want to see here is that we are getting any kind of company favor from it. Because I said we are on a mission to help people live better, and that's why I said that our investment is to provide them the standard equipment so they can do the measurements and in fact, actually, how they will start to do the studies is that it will be a group of real patients with heart problems. And we said that we have no exclusive right for that information at all. That will be passed worldwide through that medical network, and we are just a contributor as a good citizen. So we are not promoting any smoking or karo beer drinking.
Okay.
How are you designing these saunas as well? Because how are you designing these saunas as well? Because we had an amazing talk from Dr. Likkonen, where are you? Here, who dedicates his time to the optimum layout of sauna construction. And as somebody commented earlier, there is 5.5 million specialists and consultants on sauna here in Finland, and everybody's idea of the perfect sauna is like my grandfather's sauna, in the same way that the best cake I ever tasted was my grandmother's. You know, so in terms of the engineering of the sauna, and this is an important thing, you know, who's going to be advising on the ventilation, who's going to be advising on the setup, the layout, how much lolu is used. Because I think there's a problem in the UK at the moment where people administer sauna like medicine. They go, oh, I know this is good for me, so I'm just gonna feel the burn, and they're like badly ventilated. They feel nauseous, but they're told it's good for them, and they don't know anything to compare it. But when we try proper sauna, like if we go to Kuma this evening and we are relaxing on the lounger after going in the cold plunge and the steam, you can feel the benefit. You feel amazing. You have that euphoria. And that's not something that the sauna users of most health clubs in the UK have, not something they know about. And if we are researching the health benefits, my body is telling me that that experience in Kuma is good for me. And the experience that most people have in those very poor appropriations of sauna in the UK, that is not good for anybody. So how are we going to make sure that they're properly engineered and that they function like a proper sauna?
If the results are wrong, then you can always rely on these arguments.
Yeah. Somebody did a wrong design.
Yeah.
I think that Hans Hägglund, who is the promoter for this one, really, is talking with Jari Laukkanen and all the sauna professors around the world. And we have given them a lot of freedom because we provide them basically a standard sauna, and to be able to make really the real medical research is that they are going to move around the patients in the sauna, different level, different distance from the heater, high up from the floor, how close to the floor they are, and make comparable studies. So it will not be depending on our equipment. It's basically a standard sauna they're getting. If I don't totally remember correctly, that I believe that we will have one more extra layer on the benches as well to be able to measure the height differences inside the sauna where the patient is located and to the distance of the heaters, etc. So there will be a lot of flexibility in it, and we don't want to lock them in because of being a good citizen. That's the only way to do it. And I think that another remark to make to your good comment is that this is now medical research, and what we talk about ourselves in this room, it's our personal perception, what we think is comfortable or not, and that's maybe a totally different issue.
Okay, so freedom of science is very important. Yeah, we go there. Yeah.
So I just wanna support what Jake said here before. The same thing is in the U.S., and I hope that you guys from the U.S. agree with me on this. But the entry level to sauna in the United States is your gym, and whether the sauna in itself, whatever I call them infrared rooms or whatever, it's a traditional sauna, most likely it's being used wrong, and most likely it's in the wrong place. So it's a bad sauna experience, which sets the standard for the whole thing. So wherever we are going, again, education.
Okay, let's bring up another topic in terms of commercial and making money. What do you see the forthcoming trends in the whole business? I mean, the big trends like